I think most can agree that Glenn probably should not have died. One of my favourite episodes in all of TV, but with what happened after, I think it would have been better with him there. It beat the life out of the show for many people. Either way, I may have just found actual proof that Glenn wasn't supposed to die in The Walking Dead, and like many other characters, was going to fully avoid his comic fate. So I've noticed this a few times while rewatching the show. In season 6 episode 12, Glenn and Heath were a duo. At this point, Heath was noticeably moody and on edge, as the group had just met Hilltop and made a deal with Gregory to take out what they thought was the only saviour outpost. And he doesn't want to kill. He doesn't like that anyone else is going to really go in there and take out saviours while they sleep. Heath and Glenn were on really similar terms with it. Talking to Glenn before they went in there, he said they're lucky. They've never had to do it before. Then when in the outpost, Glenn takes out that first saviour. His first ever kill. Then when Heath is about to do it himself, Glenn does it for him. Just look at how much these two are becoming an even stronger duo, who can relate to each other so strongly. Not a single kill between them yet at this point. Then they escape some saviours and both take them all out. Jesus says,
"This is the next world."
So surely it would make sense if they both made it into that next world. After this, all of the characters walk out from the outpost and recollect themselves, but something monumental happens that would change The Walking Dead forever. After Glenn and Heath spent the whole episode as a duo, Tara switches out for Glenn. So Tara and Heath leave together, leaving Glenn to stay with the group and end up in that lineup. I find it infuriating that Glenn and Heath were a duo, but one of, if not the worst Walking Dead character, annoyingly swaps with him. Now the reason Tara swapped out with Glenn and went with Heath is because the actress was pregnant, which is why this is her last appearance for season 6. She would then next appear in season 7 episode 6. But here's where it gets interesting. This trip is how they met Oceanside. This is what would give Alexandria guns and a community of allies to help defeat Negan. And I remember a while ago saying that this episode was like it was written for Glenn, like a Tom Holland's Peter Parker quirky type character, not this Tara character who literally stopped being good after season 6. Almost like she was never supposed to go past it in the first place.
I'm sorry. I just walked in. Crawled. I didn't even know I was in. I can just go. Okay. This is cool, too. We just keep doing this.
It's like it wasn't written for her, but they sort of slipped her in there because the character that was meant to be there was dead. But when she was with the governor attacking the prison, she was actually meant to die there. So that's another time they've saved her. They said they kept her on because they liked her. Who's to say this wasn't another time? I think Tara was very possibly supposed to die at the lineup in place of Glenn. I don't think she would have been Lucille, but maybe killed with the gun that she had. Maybe Tara sees Dwight, who had just killed Denise, and he kills her.
That girl you murdered? Her name was Denise, and she was a doctor. And she helped people.
That's yours, right? Yeah. It's yours.
You got one of our guns.
You got a lot of our guns.
Jesus. You look shit.
After Negan killed Abraham and he taunted Rosita to get Daryl to hit him, why would Tara be the next one? What have we possibly seen in the show that would make that happen? Well, when she went out of her way to save Spencer, Rick reprimanding and warning her not to do it again.
Tara! You almost died once for these people!
What?
What the heck?
We also see how, although Glenn and Tara were both hopeful characters, Tara was more naively hopeful, like when Denise, a doctor, said she couldn't save Holly, but Tara insisted. Holly died.
I don't care. Help her. Try. Denise, you tried. You are a doctor.
Just go see if it's over.
After this scene with Abraham,
But why the hell you agreed to drive him halfway across the country?
Is that hard to believe? I want to save the world.
Because you're a good person? You don't have to tell me why. Just don't lie to me.
Tara would see Abraham's sacrifice. Had she been at the lineup, it was almost a direct answer to that scene. Before this, Eugene saved her. At the lineup, when they catch up to him in the RV, he would feel like he failed her, making his somewhat self-destructive story arc after the lineup make more sense. And let's not forget, she already did speak up to Negan.
Farad?
It was me!
No.
The truth is, she was as much as a threat to Negan as Abraham and Daryl were. With Tara and how she was, if she kept getting involved and didn't let it happen, and the survivors saw that she was able to talk over Negan and take control, he would have to kill her. Her interrupting, just like how Glenn did, after she was the character that actually helped him find Maggie again, it makes a scary amount of sense. So Glenn would be the character that went away with Heath, and then he comes back, finds out that Maggie's dead, and he becomes this character that wants the saviors to die. It would have been so much better with Glenn, especially with Tara being the one to convince Daryl of trusting in Dwight, being the one to actually convince him in the end, really, to spare him. Would that not make more sense as Glenn?
That's still who we are. It's gotta be. When we were out there, you said you were done waiting. I could have killed him. I should have.
No, he wanted to be here with us. And no matter what he did or how hard he tried, I wanted him dead. Just couldn't let it be anything else.
And even after this, she would go on to lead Hilltop in Maggie's place. I don't think he would have died at the Pikes, but to have Glenn be the quirky one in the Oceanside story arc, to hate the saviors but then forgive them, then lead Hilltop for the rest of the show, which would have been 10 times better than what Maggie did. I really think I've just found what was meant to happen. You might think, yeah, but what about the stuff that Stephen Yeun went on to do, the other jobs he did? Yeah, it's almost like he might have had to leave for a bit. Like Maggie. Now, in my What If Glenn Survived video, I very intentionally didn't go down that route of having Glenn just in Maggie's place, because I don't like that storyline at all. It's probably the thing I'm least interested in current The Walking Dead shows. I could not care less about that. And they say in season 2, Negan and Maggie are going to have a gang war now. Go away. It's cool that Negan's getting this second villain arc. I feel like I should have a problem with it, and that it's tedious, and that they're rendering some of the previous stuff of his arc useless, but I don't think that. I think it's really cool. I think it's the most interesting thing they could do with his character right now. But if it's just to have Maggie go up against him in some war with her group, go away. I do prefer the Glenn going psycho storyline, but if Negan was exiled and you had Glenn just lead Hilltop and still be in the show and kind of do what Maggie did, that's cool too. But for my What If video, I'm very happy with what I did there without spoiling it for you. But what do you think? Do you think it has anything to it? Would you have preferred if it actually happened like this? Let me know what you think down below. And make sure you watch my What If Shane Was in the Ones Who Live video. What would he have done if he was in the Ones Who Live? I actually think it's a lot better than what the show did. Press the like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.
I'm not good at goodbyes. I miss the sunshine in your eyes. Who said cowboys don't cry? Come on, baby, let's take one last ride. We're riding around this carousel, if you catch my drift. We're riding around this wagon wheel, she took me for a spin.